What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. A little bit different concept today, but I still like you to take a moment, hit the like button for me, subscribe if you aren't already. Criticism in the comment section, as always, Twitter. Shutdown Safety is my username. And I have a lot of people over the past years that have reached out to me, whether it's a PM or an email, comment section even. Most recently on Twitter, a guy named Troy Levitt, and asked me what advice I would give to somebody starting a channel. And I actually took that to heart this time, and I sat down, I wrote out a list of things, and I wanted to share them with you. They're going to be down in the description as well, because it's important to me that you understand your channel can have an impact. You know, you're listening to somebody that's went to EA, that's went to 505, that's helped develop games just because of what I've done on a relatively small YouTube channel. But if you're dedicated, if you're willing to put in a modest amount of work, you know, you really can have an impact in the gaming community, so don't think that you can't. Now, in terms of what I would recommend, you know, number one, don't force videos. Play the game until you see an issue. A lot of times it's going to come really naturally to you. You're going to be in a specific situation, you're going to have a play call with a result in your head, and then something completely different is going to happen. Number two would be to make sure that you play everything at speed. That way the viewer can recognize a game pattern, but it also shows things like the defenses in terms of formations, but it also lets people understand that these mistakes happen really fast. The flaws in the game to the untrained eye may not even be able to be seen at speed until you go into a replay, and that's where breaking a play down comes in. Number three, focus on one thing. Select a single aspect of a play that you want to talk about and focus on that. Most plays have one issue that you can break down. Sticking with that theme, try to keep things simple. You don't want to repeat yourself. If you say your point once and you can prove it, you don't need to do it again. Going back over it is just going to lengthen the video and have somebody want to shut it off. In that same vein with number five, you know, try to keep your videos under 3 minutes. If you think back to your pre-game or your post-game, you know, actual NFL breakdowns, they don't go longer than that. So there's no reason that in a video game critique you would. Number six, the big one, refrain from using NFL footage. For one thing, it's not permitted due to copyright, but another thing, it's unfair to hold any game to a real-world standard. Number seven, most important to me really, is to do the video in the moment. That second where you lost the game, where you turned it over, where you saw what happened on the field didn't match what you thought your eyes saw. It's critical that you talk about it right then. It's going to be less important to you later. You might not be able to see the replay later. You might even forget what you wanted to show later on. So make sure you do the breakdown as it happens. Now, in that same light with number eight, if you can't use a console share and you need to use a camera like I do, make sure you use a tripod. Even if you're going to use a phone, a tripod is an absolute must to get something stable for someone to look at. If you've got a camera that's all over the place, nobody's going to watch a video that makes them seasick. Number nine, don't be afraid to try this. It's easy, it's fun, it's rewarding, it's an opportunity to learn, teach, understand football, and honestly, to me, football is the greatest game ever. Period. You know, Madden is a vehicle I use to discuss football, and that's all it is. The last one, number 10, invest in yourself. A small amount of money, a small amount of effort is going to go a really long way. Go spend $10, $20. Get an intro. Lease the rights to a song. Get a background made. You know, if you're willing to take the time and do this to the best of your ability, people are going to see that. But if you're not, people are going to see that just as much. And if you don't care about the quality or the presentation of what you're putting out, then why am I going to take my time to watch it? Finally, I do want to say, of all the people that have came to me and said that I've inspired them, which is a very humbling thing, mind you, I don't know one person that's ever came back and said, I regret doing breakdowns. I regret talking about Madden. I wish I would have never started doing this. So, if you leave with one final thing, it's just throw one out there, see what people think, send me a link to it. I'll be glad to watch it and give you my feedback on it. But most importantly, man, just don't be afraid to try.